If you were to ask me what the best airsoft sniper is on the market, I would say hands down the Silverback SRS A1 or A2, doesn't matter. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have its flaws. Its main one being its disastrous mag design, which I simply cannot remove no matter how many times I try on the first try, because you have to have salad fingers in order to get this thing out. It's honestly like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube with amputated hands. I was, however, just sent a product from Airsoft Industries that might solve this issue for us for good and allow us to now run M4 EPM1 mags in our SRS in a non-ugly way. This is by no means Silverback's fault, it's just the design of the Desert Tech SRS. Thank you, Airsoft Industries, for sending this out for testing. We are back at the table. Let's take another look at a product review so we can now install our EPM1 mags inside of our SRS A2. I feel like Dr. Seuss. Right into the package. First of all, the packaging is very nice. I love the little cutouts that you have there. This is actually my first thing that I've ever gotten from Airsoft Industries. I've seen some of his stuff, and I was a huge fan because there's a lot of things that he creates that are just not available on the market. They're not like remakes of anything. Really, they are their own take on a lot of upgrade parts and whatnot. And at first glance, I mean, they're as sturdy as I thought they were going to be because if I'm being totally honest with you, I dropped this on the floor in accident because I'm an absolute klutz, and it doesn't look like anything cracked. These are printed parts with what looks like ABS, and there's very, very fine lines on there. So it must have a seriously solid printer. I don't know if this is just a slip-in casing for the EPM1 that we have, or if I have to take the guts out and then reinstall it into this body, and then throw these on top. And these are just like the replacement feed lips, the connection to the SRS. So it looks like you got full instruction video guide here, which I'll take a look at before installing it. First off, we have to fully disassemble the EPM1 mag. I've never done this before since I tend to primary gas blowbacks. So I think we just have to attack that and then this bottom screw in the base. And that should release the entire inside of the EPM1 out. And I don't know if there was, okay, yeah, the little clear panel popped out the side. Okay, next, I'm assuming we have to get to all of these screws here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 screws on that side, on the one side of the panel. And make sure to apply some tension to all sides, just because I know there's a spring in here and I don't know if, how, and when that's going to pop out. Just don't want to like straight up loose it. Oh, okay, hold on. Hold on, there's your spring. It's coming out the side. Okay, so that little panel pulls the spring out. I don't even know if I was supposed to do that. But it looks like it's not under tension anymore. Or not really, so that might be good. I just don't want to bend that spring. So one of you AEG techs in the comments are probably going to scream your head off after seeing this. Okay, so now with all of those screws out, I think the whole body should just split in two. If I'm going to lose... Oh, wait, hold on. There's one more screw. Duh. Okay, so now the whole body splits in two. I've lost a ton of pieces that just shot out. I don't know where that went. Okay. What the heck? Oh my. Okay. Alright. Alright. That is a... Okay. Go to a different channel if you want to learn how to disassemble EPM1 mags. I don't know if I did that right. So there's a little pin that comes out. Don't lose that. I don't know if I have to take this off. Yep, okay, we'll take that off. Spring should be totally loose now from that side of the body. There's the little feed lip ramp. There's the spring. There's a nut that I know we need. There's this little depressor on the bottom that removes the bottom plate. There's this other smaller spring in here. And then we have to figure out how to take this off. I think it's just a pin. Oh no, okay, I see. So the spring's gonna come off of that. Oh, geez, don't tangle the spring. All right, so this is a single spring, it looks like, that's connected to, oh no, it's a split spring that's connected to this little orange piece, and then there's another pin right there. Okay, so we fully disassembled the entire thing. Now what we have to do is take that little nut that we had, that single nut wherever it went, and we're going to reinstall it where it went, right back into the base. Next, we're going to take the new upper, this guy right here, and install it onto this side of the body. You see how this screw hole is in the center down here and this one's up on the left? That's the upper, and it has to face this direction with the long slide facing the back of the mag. And it should just slip onto these sections here, I think. So we'll kind of mosey that on in there. It's a nice snug fit. Cool. That all set up. Now we have to throw the opposing side, without the feed lips obviously, onto the other side, and then we'll re-screw that all back together. Let's just make sure we line everything up. It looks like it's supposed to just sit like that. It's that front pin that wants to give us a little bit of a fight, but that seems to be solid. Okay, and we have a bunch of long screws and then one short screw. All of the long screws are going to go in every single one of the screw holes. The only thing is the short screw is going to go in this back hole. So we'll go ahead and re-screw all of those in. I guess we'll just do it real quick. So you can see all the screws are screwed into their rightful homes. Don't over tighten them because they are just screwing into plastic, I noticed. And the small screw, the short screw, is through here. You'll notice because if you screw in the long screw in the wrong spot, it'll protrude out this side, but we don't want to do that. Next, we're just going to take the little panel, a little, I guess, plastic clear panel, and we should be able to install it onto the side of the case. Is there two panels? There is. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to install these into the new case, and those should sit with those flaring sides on the inside, and it looks like that will be the side we're going to put this on. And they should just firmly push in place like that, and then the other one should also just firmly push in place. And those should stay in by friction alone until we install the inner container, and that'll just apply pressure on the inside outwards. Next, I think we have to throw these little side panels on. So for these guys, let's see what direction we put these. It's like this. Yeah, it looks like it's like this. So it's going to sit like that. And then it's going to sit like that. And they should just stay on. That's going to add some space between this and the body kit, I think. We don't have to screw those in at all right now. Now we have to install the spring, so this whole monstrous spring unit. And I think we have to install the long part first. So we're going to take the long part, and we're going to start feeding it through this hole, I imagine. And it should just push all the way through. I don't know how friendly this thing's going to be. Seems to be going in pretty easily and not bunching up too much. So I've never done this before. Really hope I'm installing this correctly. And I'm not putting like any extra force. It seems to be pushing its way through, which is really nice. Now when we get to this little orange piece, we have to get it in line through here so we can get these pins in that we have, those little orange pins, those, I guess, level trackers. So we'll take one of these, and it's just going to push into the hole of that little orange piece. All right, I managed to get it in, and then we just did the same on the other side. Like I said, there's two pins. Second one we'll just get in. I was able to kind of smash it up between the fingernails like that with the little fingernails that I even have left. And those should, like those little indicators, the little panel fell off. Okay, Now I think we just push the spring in and then reinstall this piece right here. That's going to sit on the spring. We'll pull it the rest of the way down, and that should just snap in place. That. Yeah, okay. All right, we're in. And the entire kit should just slide on into the body of the new mag, hopefully nice and smooth, like that. Check that out. Okay, there's that large screw now that we had before that secured the mag into the old body, and that has to go into the base of the new mag well. That should tighten down. And that should be going nowhere. Damn, look at that thing. Time to take this mag out. If I could, again, figure out how to even do that. And let's, for the first time, see if this new Airsoft Industries adapted EPM1 mag fits. It's supposed to sit at a funky angle in here. And let's, it's a little weird at first. No? Does it want to go in? Okay, so it's definitely a snug fit, but that looks... Hold on. That looks absolutely insane. Jeez. I love the angle that goes in. It keeps it completely away from your hand. Let's load it with rounds. When it comes to the removal, it's much easier now because your hand is closer to the mag release button. So it's so much easier to remove, which is huge. And it comes out as easy as you would expect it to, which is super nice. When it comes to loading this guy, Airsoft Industries does also include an adapter, which is huge. So a little 3D printed adapter to make it a little bit easier to load. But what I also want you to keep in mind, this is spring assisted, so it should keep the BBs held in place and you shouldn't lose them all. I'm not sure what this is. This might just be an assisted eject, but I'm not entirely sure. Let's throw the speed loader adapter on, and we'll just start pumping BBs in. And hopefully they're all pushing to the top, and just check to see if we have spring tension. We do, in fact, have spring tension, so I just wasted a ton of BBs. Let's load them all in and see if it feeds the SRS okay. Okay, so we've loaded. They're staying in place. No problems at all. Something that I also really like is, you can see where the mag well or the mag release catches, there's a little metal plate, so that's going to wear down less quickly than if you were to have just like a plastic insert here. Oh, that feels so much better than the SRS, I guess, BlackBerry mag, whatever you want to call this thing. All right, let's get this thing out and see if it test fire, or give it a test fire. Very simple. To take the SRS and the new mag, we'll throw it on in place, see if that got any easier to load. It did. There is no wiggling there. That is super solid. When we do rack the bolt, let's see if a BB feeds up to the top, and you can see right on the inside it does. Running like 0.2s in here, so it's probably going to overhop the crud out of them, but let's see best of 10, maybe 15 shots if every single one feeds. Here we go. Seems to have no problems feeding. Yeah, so that is an absolutely wild upgrade for the SRS, and I don't know about you guys. I kind of really like the way the mag looks in there. Super cool. Sure, it'll take a little time to wear in, obviously. It's a little tight in the mag well, but I can't imagine that being a problem after a handful of reloads as the plastic starts to wear down. There's no creaking, no wobbling. No mushiness to the mag at all. All in all, that is just, come on, a little weird to insert, but such an upgrade from these. And it's even lighter than this one. This is one of the metal ones. The plastic ones are super creaky. I don't like those, but the metal ones are pretty heavy. I also forgot to mention that the amount of rounds inside of the SRS mags are like slim to none in comparison to these. These EPM ones can hype up to, I think you get ones that are like 250 rounds, which is absolutely bonkers. You need one of these. Literally just one of these. I want to again say thank you to Airsoft Industries for sending this guy out. I will leave it linked in the description below if you choose to pick one up. They are so cool, and continue to support people who are making Airsoft greater for everybody and adding upgrades that you just haven't seen on the market before, because that's what's going to change Airsoft for the better. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.